あるとマイクみたいになりたい。でも電話してくれない。オークランドとブックレンドから世界チャンピオンバーチャルプローズ始まるよ。バーチャルプローズ。バーチャルプローズ。
Boy, you should know that I had you on my mind, secret admirer. I've been watching you. Should I swing my way? Sure look good to me. Now would you please swing my way? Should I swing my way?
Episode 19 of the Virtual Pros Podcast. My name is Al, a.k.a. Justin Edible, a.k.a. Baba Ranks, a.k.a. Henny Omega, a.k.a. Super Brazy, a.k.a. Pyro Iwatani, a.k.a. Mr. Your Favorite Joshi DMs me pics with a dog Snapchat filter on her face. And with me, my BK Oos, Mike.
Wow, that's going to make all of mine sound so bad now. Hey, I'm Mike, a.k.a. Dr. Swagner Jr., a.k.a. Quarter Juice Robinson, a.k.a. Leapin' Zanny Poffo.
Today's episode, VRTL Creative puts their minds together and helps rebrand 5 WWE acts that desperately need it. Hit us on iTunes if you haven't already at Virtual Pros. Same as our SoundCloud. These hearts are coming in. I'm liking it a lot. Hit us on Instagram at VRTL Pros. Same as our Twitter. If you want to email us, please do so at virtualpros64@gmail.com. Just a forewarning, or just letting you guys know, I am drinking E40's malt liquor, and it has me super wavy right now. So if you guys notice me talking a little different, that's the reason. Yeah, you want to start off with 2 minutes scrub right now, Mike?
Yeah, sure. I forgot how we started the show. I also violated the wellness policy from something else. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any at all or no?
Yeah, I got one. So I'll start off. All right.
You don't have to start off, but you can if you really want to.
Yeah, that's how it works out usually.
Okay.
So Kevin Love and LeBron James ended the national nightmare of the Golden State Warriors being the best basketball team in the world, which I'm a Sacramento Kings fan, and for me, when I saw Game 7 end, it had to be like top 5 like best sports moments of all time. But making this wrestling related, they were wearing wrestling t-shirts. I think Kevin Love was wearing an Austin 316 t-shirt. And I had a question for you. Do you think this will start the wave of wrestling t-shirts being socially acceptable to wear in public?
Well, first off, as hard as it is to believe, I'm a Golden State Warriors fan. Although I'm not going to say I'm a diehard fan, but they were my first favorite basketball team ever. And then in 1994, when they changed their uniforms to that shitty uniform, I was like, I can't support this team anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do this.
Here's my rule. Like, if you were rocking with the Warriors when they had the Thunderman, or if you like came to me like excited about Bobby Sura, or like any other shitty fucking, like if you were like pumped up about Troy Murphy, I'm happy for you when they won last year. But, you know, yeah, I live in the Bay Area, and these new fans have me kind of tight right now.
Yeah, I kind of, once they switched to that Thunder, man, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this team sucks. They don't have Mullen, they don't have anybody anymore.
Right.
But yeah, anyways, I think that, well, first off, I didn't know this until, I forgot, I think either Doan or Daniel from Kissing Contest showed me that, they showed me the original Undertaker picture.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, that's an actual cool Undertaker shirt. And they were like, oh, it's a homage shirt. And, first off, I didn't know, I guess the homage is from Cleveland, so I guess it makes sense they would wear that stuff. But it's just like, I feel like Doan showed me that brand when they were like a teeny tiny company, and now they're like just huge, which is crazy for one. So I don't know if so much WWE shirts will be acceptable to wear in public, but I think like cool wrestling shirts will be acceptable to wear in public, and I think it'll get to the point of like how you'll see like Kim Kardashian in like a D-beat like punk band jacket, or like patches, like a Doom patch or something, and like all these old crusty punk rockers get upset like it fucking matters. Like, I think wrestling shirts can get like that for sure. Like, I'm sure you could see like Kanye wearing an Austin 316 shirt or something, but no one's going to be wearing like a Zack Ryder shirt or anything like that. Be cool. Like basically most of the things that WWE designs. I will say that John Cena PBR shirt is one of the classiest shirts he's had in forever.
So that shirt is back. Like, it like was the original PBR flip, and then they redid it so it doesn't look like a PBR logo so much, and now it's back. Like, is that what happened?
Yeah, I guess their lawyers were like, oh, they can't do shit. Fuck them. And
yeah, that was one of my low key money hustles. I was gonna buy up all the OG ones and then sell them, but I guess that's dead.
Okay. Let me see about my 2-man scramble topics here. Sorry, I have like a scratch in my throat. It's really bothering me. I wrote down Kairi Hojo, but I don't know why, so I'm gonna skip that one. I don't take notes. Like, all I do is like write down a word or two, and I'm like, I'll remember. And like, because there used to be a time in my life, like when I was little, where I had like a pinpoint photographic memory, and then it like went to the point it devolved into like, oh, I'll just write down like a word or two, and then I'll remember. And now it's like I have to write down complete sentences. I'm so washed and old.
Was it about Kairi Hojo talking about wanting to go to the WWE? I'm trying to jog your memory.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was, but I mean, like, that's so boring. I don't think I would just talk about that, but I don't know. Maybe I was having a day where I thought that was interesting, but yeah, I mean, you said you think that's going to happen. I don't think it is.
Well, they're talking about having the women's tournament next year, and like, they're going to have to tap that Stardom roster if they want to do that shit. Like, yeah, that's the hottest brand, like, right now in the world. So if they want to do that, they gotta talk to my man with the fedora about that shit.
That kind of actually leads into one of my other topics is this Cruiserweight Challenge. Cruiserweight Classic is coming up. Yep. And they're like filming it like right now. And like realistically, do you think any of those people are going to have like any like real success in WWE? Like not like Neville or Tyler Breeze success?
Nah, I mean, the two top names are Zack Sabre Jr. and Kota Ibushi. And, like, I do think that those guys are amazing, like, wrestling-wise. But, I mean, do I think they're going to be, like, finishing a Raw episode? Like, no, that's not going to happen ever. I mean, it'd be cool if it did, but it's not going to happen. I don't see it. I think they're going to try to sign those guys for sure. I mean, I hope they sign Ho Ho Lun. Like, that'd be dope. But, I mean, other than that, like, I don't think any of those guys in the tournament are gonna like be Impact players, I guess.
Yeah, like it just made me think that this whole thing is just like some kind of, I wouldn't say ulterior motive, but I think they want to see like how much revenue they can make just like really placating to like actual unwashed nerds of wrestling. and I'm pretty interested to see how it goes, because from what Paul said, Triple H, I'm pretty sure it was Triple H. He said that it's going to be like a completely different look, a completely different feel than like anything they've done before. And that could be bullshit. But at the other end, like I'm really thinking maybe they're going to try and start like an even smaller NXT, where it's just like they're like doing shit in clubs and stuff.
The end game is that they're going to have someone hold their cruiserweight title. And I guess like, I really don't see where the money's at. I mean, not to sound like a total fucking insider with that. I mean, if Kota Ibushi or Zack Sabre Jr. wins, like, are they going to be an NXT guy? Are they going to move to SmackDown? I'm not really sure, like, what the end game is for that entire tournament. I thought that was just, like, a way to get Almas over, CN Almas over, but he's not even in the tournament, so I'm really confused about the entire thing.
Yeah, it's, like I said, I think that's, like, their next plan. It's just, like, how they took over, like, territorial wrestling. I think they're just like, oh, we'll just take over like internet nerd wrestling. And like all that's going to be left is just like weird Japanese independent promotions.
That's cool.
Oh, I forgot that I wanted to apologize on behalf of Al because he said some very mean off-color things about Gypsy Joe last week.
What?
And then Gypsy Joe died. So I just want to say Al is very sorry about those things he said.
I listened back to that episode like 4 times because I think that's like one of our best episodes. And yeah, the way that you were Mike-splaining Gypsy Joe not selling New Jack, as I think Harpo was talking about, you sound insane. And we have some crazy like juju about like talking about people, and then like said person like has something horrible happen to them.
That's because I'm a witch.
But, yeah, you're a witch for sure, dude.
Okay, listen. Okay, how about this, for example? say you were working with somebody, and
Okay.
they were your coworker.
Yeah.
Say you were making pizzas,
Mhm.
and say it was your job to make the pizza and prepare the pizza and put it in the oven, and it was the other person's job to take the pizza out of the oven and cut it up. But he just let it fall out of the oven over and over again. Wouldn't you want to hit him with a baseball bat?
Listen, the way that you were defending New Jack's actions was gross. Like, okay, like I was following up on like this entire story of like why New Jack freaked out, and he was saying that Gypsy Joe didn't sell for him. But here's what happened. Like, New Jack, he headbutted Gypsy Joe like in the face, and like he hurt himself. And I don't understand why why is the blame on Gypsy Joe for that? Also, how do you sell like attempted murder? The way you're defending this is absolutely insane.
I'm just saying. I don't know. Moving on. Here's the thing that I feel like maybe I don't like. I've stated on the show before, I don't like being a wrestling grump and being as grumpy about wrestling as everybody else is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that maybe isn't even grumping the wrestling grumps, but grumps me out, is I really like Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song. I think it's one of the best theme songs they've done in a long time. I cannot stand people singing along to it, though. It makes me cringe like harder than anything ever. Like it's worse than This Is Awesome. Like hearing people sing along to it and like wiggle around, it's just like it makes like the hairs on my neck stand up. Like I'm just so grossed out by it, and I feel like it's not really that big of a deal. But like for whatever reason, I just do not like it. It bugs me out.
I got a question. Do you think that theme is better than Subconscious, the New Japan theme that he had originally?
I don't know, man. I like wake up like humming that song. Like it's just like it's not even like I don't listen to wrestling music on my own time. So
Oh man, my dude, like I drive back and forth from Sacramento to the Bay Area, and my two wake up songs are that Nakamura theme and Naito's theme. Yeah, I struggle with deciding which one I like more. They're both good, but I think that his new theme might have the edge. Secondly, did you see the dude that's cosplaying as Nakamura?
Yes, I have.
So that guy creeps you out the most, I'm guessing.
Yeah. No, it's more of like just like the kind of like regular white dudes who like shimmy around like Nakamura, and it's just like, come on, dude, you're on television right now and you look like a jackass. Like it's just like, ugh.
I'm kind of wondering what sort of deal I can put together for you to do Nakamura hands on camera. Like, what could I give you that would make you do that? Like, if I was like, hey, Mike, I will give you all expenses, paid trip to Japan if you just do like the 3-finger Nakamura thing and like you just shake up your wrists violently. Like, would you do it on camera?
I guess I can do that, because I mean, like, there's already been a precedent set that no one looks cool doing this except him. So it's not like the dab where like people do it and they like still look cool. Like,
yeah.
And then dorks do it and they look dorky. It's just like no one else looks cool doing Nakamura's thing. So,
man, you say that, and I know that when I was in Dallas, I was doing Nakamura hands all day at AT&T Stadium. So, you know what? My biggest fear is someone has me on Snapchat, like just doing like the ring rope taunt where like he falls back, because I was doing that many a times because of Hennessy. So that's my biggest fear.
Okay. My last one is, you watched that new Breaking Ground special, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, super good. I thought it was the best thing they've done in a long, long time. Even better than all of last Breaking Ground, honestly.
Yep.
They showed like real emotion. Like they actually showed Bayley being super bummed out that she's not in regular WWE, and it's kind of weird that they would do that.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling she's going to be up obviously soon with the draft, so whatever.
Hopefully.
But I noticed something about this, and it's Asuka's not in it at all. Not even to the point where it's just like they didn't talk to her, but like even when they're showing backstage shots with all of the other wrestlers, she's not there. So do you think she's just really antisocial or something?
Dude, so I don't mean to get like super like
stalkery. Do you stalk her or something?
No, well, sort of, but I mean like you know, people have these theories about like how wrestlers are, and it's totally not my business, but like, okay, we follow her on Instagram, and like she's never like driving with any of like the girls that like are worth a damn. Like she's never driving with Bayley, she's never driving with Carmella. She's always driving with like the total like developmental girls.
Yeah.
So like it kind of makes me wonder if there's like some weird backstage dynamic about how she got this crazy like, you know, rocket put to her back, And there might be just like some kind of like, I don't know, hate coming towards her way because of that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just real odd. Like, she's like that last shot where they're like Triple H is giving them the speech. It's like literally everybody that's been on camera on NXT.
Yeah.
Like even like the lame-os.
Yeah.
And they're there. And even the people that weren't on the wrestling card. And it's just like, and she's just like nowhere to be found. And it's, seems rather odd.
Yeah. NXT women, if you're listening to this, stop being racist. Like, Asuka's first language is not English. Like, you can talk to her. Like, she'll understand you. Like, it's totally fine. Why don't you just be nice to her? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
Just
be nice.
All right, up next, our main topic. VRTL Creative puts their minds together and helps rebrand 5 WWE acts that desperately need it. Please stay tuned.
Okay, we are back here with Virtual Pros. We are here to talk to you about some wrestlers that may need a little creative help in their little gimmicks there. So we thought, why don't we do this? Why don't we help them out? We give them some gimmicks, and then they'll be big, huge superstars. So we chose 5 people who are in terrible, terrible need of gimmicks, and not just John Cena. I think it'd be easy to think of better gimmicks for John Cena all day because he's such a charismatic person. So we chose 5 normal NXT and WWE people. Should we say them in order now, or should we just wait and introduce them one by one?
Introduce them. Let me ask you this though. Like, what did you get out of this exercise? Because for me, like, being a writer for professional wrestling seems hard as fuck, dude.
Oh, well, what I got out of it is I do this all the time. Like, this is all I do when I watch wrestling is just imagine what wrestlers would be like if I got to control them and their destinies. So, this was easy. It was sort of easy for me. Like, it's way easier to do this with people. Like, none of the people we picked, except maybe one person, has like any amount of, like, acting charisma, you would say. Like, I think everybody we picked is just like very athletically gifted, but they're kind of just like,
yeah,
dead. But, so, like, I do this all the time, but what it made me realize is that, and what we're going to find out is, like, I can tell, like, when I say things and I'm joking around, I'm trying to be haha funny, I know the things that I think people are going to be funny, but then there's a whole different set of things that I find really funny, and probably no one else finds funny, and I think all my...
Yes, me too. This is exactly my lane as well.
Yeah, so, like, I'm just, like, after going over all of them in my head, I was just like, man... my people might just think I'm a fucking moron, but this is like the stuff that I'm like into. So that's that.
So I guess here's how we'll do it. We'll kind of introduce the wrestler and like what we think about their current gimmick, and then our pitch for like a new gimmick that they should take on. Yep. Yeah, I'll lead off. So first, we'll go with Hideo Itami. Right now his current gimmick is just Japanese man that's pretty good at wrestling. What is his gimmick to you right now, Mike?
You mean his real gimmick? Yeah, he's just like a polite Japanese man that's good at wrestling. I feel like, you know, he was kind of like the litmus test where they're like, okay, we have to make a non-stereotypical Japanese man, and they were so afraid that they were just like, okay, you're just going to be a guy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he's kind of fucked now because like Nakamura came out, and even Asuka, and now he just looks even like more lame.
Yeah, I mean, like in Noah, he had a buzz going on. He was just kind of like this like cocky piece of shit. And then he came into the WWE, and like I felt like people felt they had to like him just because he had this kind of pedigree. but it really hasn't carried over so far. So, I'll introduce my thoughts about what Hideo Itami should do. Alright. Hideo Itami should go by Hideo Litami. Add the L to that last name. And he should, just be like a gentleman's host. Like, have you ever watched The Great Happiness Space on Netflix?
The Great what?
The Great Happiness Space. It's about the documentary where, like, they film this dude who's, like, a host at, like, this club, and he just, like, charges women to talk to him and shit.
Oh, man, I haven't watched that.
You'd love it. Anyway, so here are my bullet points for Hideo Itami's new gimmick, Hideo Litami. Hideo has to dye his hair blonde. It worked for Okada, it'll work for him. Asian people just look cool with blonde hair. Also, I just imagine the Sandman entrance, but with Hideo smoking a menthol. Like, whatever they smoke in Japan, he should do that. And instead of, like, taking a beer to the face, he should just, like, drink a bottle of Moet, like, during his entrance. I think that'd be super awesome. Also, I guess lastly, he could just, like, you know, casually creep on all the NXT ladies, like Peyton Royce, and kind of, like, start reversing the damage done to the society's idea of Asian manliness, that Jet Li did when he didn't get to smash Aaliyah at the end of Romeo Must Die. He has a beard. Like, these are all things that should happen, and I think it'd just be super beneficial for, like, not only Hideo Itami, but for just Asian men in general.
So you kind of just want him to be like Asian Cesaro, basically.
Nah, man, like, Cesaro's, like, too clean. Like, you gotta have him creep out a little bit.
Well, mine is sort of similar in the exact opposite stereotypical way, so I'm sort of on the same page then.
Yo, if you made him a salaryman, I'm gonna fucking end this podcast right now, dude. I swear to God.
No. I was thinking, like, after watching him as, like, clean cut Hideo Itami, and then we watched that Kenta Kobashi Kenta match a few episodes ago, and I forgot that he used to have, like, kind of like a shitty beard and shitty hair. And I was like, well, he should like I said it on that episode, like, he should really expand on that. But I think they should just take it to, like, comical heights where he's kind of like a character from, like, a Takeshi Miike film where he's just, like, just real ratty hair, unwashed, bad skin, and, like, just wearing, like, a dirty t-shirt to the ring and just, like, white underwear, kind of like trunks, and just, like, always itching himself and smoking a cigarette and creeping on girls that way.
You want my man to be fucking Asian Billy Kidman? Like, come on, bro. That's not
like
gonna
way
work.
grimier and just, like, I think, like, that's like a money gimmick right there. Like, he would be fucking huge that way. Like, just, like, he could team up with Bray Wyatt with that gimmick. Just be like this shitty, gross Asian man and the fucking shitty, gross white swamp guy. I'm telling you, man. He just needs, like, that little amount of character would just, like, skyrocket him, I think. And he's, like, he's obviously not skinny, but I mean, like, he's smaller than normal wrestlers. So if he had, like, that kind of gross gimmick, it would really work for him.
He's kind of too handsome to be, like, a gross-looking dude, though, don't you think?
If he has that shitty beard, though, like...
Dog, he's Asian. Like, he can't grow, like, a nice full beard like everyone else can, dude. Like, it's an accomplishment, that beard.
I don't know. I think it would work.
Who do you have next?
Okay, next we'll go with Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews is a man that's in WWE right now. His current gimmick is a guy that's just happy to be there. He's happy he's fighting, basically. Smiles too much.
Yep.
Very athletic.
Yeah, same here. It's just a guy that's just happy to be there. Yeah, just like a happy-go-lucky guy that does nothing for me right now at the moment. I will also mention that we talked about in a previous episode who would be more popular between Apollo Crews and Ty Dillinger, and I called that correctly because Ty Dillinger is hot in the streets right now.
That Ty Dillinger shit, that's just bullshit.
No way, dude. That guy's fucking on fire right now, man.
Listen to me. Listen. Enzo and Big Cass were super huge in NXT, and they're super huge in WWE right now.
Yeah.
But there's always fucking dorks on Twitter and everywhere else on the internet just being like, already, just like, oh yeah, their shit's stale. And it's just like, if those dudes, if like fucking nerds are already calling them stale, like, I don't even know. Like, Ty Dillinger has like a lame gimmick that people are attached to because it's so lame, which I understand because that's like my slant on most of these gimmicks is gimmicks that are so lame that they're fucking amazing. But Ty Dillinger's is just dumb as hell.
No, man. That new cape he brought out on the latest takeover is fucking fire, dude. I was super hyped for him. Like, forget Almas, dude. Ty Dillinger's the future. I was super excited for that guy.
Yeah. Anyway, so like Apollo Crews is failing, and the thing is, like, realistically, I think what they should do with him, and what will probably happen, is he'll just get stuck in an unlikely tag team with Neville, and they'll be like a tag team for like a year or two. And I honestly think that's probably what's going to happen, because it just seems like that seems the right direction.
Probably.
But yeah, it's just like I don't think he could do much like gimmick wise. That's like completely not out of the realm of realism. So
Yo, I just thought of something. Like, what if they paired Cruz and Neville and they just called him Lethal Weapon, and they just like cosplayed like fucking Danny Glover and Mel Gibson?
There you go.
That shit would be hot. Sorry to interrupt. That was my idea just now.
Yeah, but so I think my gimmick for Apollo Crews is probably my lamest out of the bunch, but I think he should just be a dude that was like super into marketing and stuff, like e-marketing and like fucking, like that pyramid scheme shit. And he's just like, always backstage, like reading an ebook and like, just, like trying to tell fucking Charlotte about like, he has this fucking crazy opportunity for her. And like, everybody's just like, the fuck, man. Cause he's just so happy and he seems like that type of person that would fall for that stuff. And then like, eventually like a couple years down the road, he's like trying to like get all these matches and everybody's like, what's going on? And he's like, man, I just like invested all my money in this marketing and it just hasn't paid off yet. And he's just like, you find out like he's secretly wrestling because he's broke from marketing.
All right, yours is way better than mine. So, so my idea, like for, I guess a lot of these gimmicks is like just push whatever they're doing right now to the extreme. And so my first thought with Apollo Crews is like, what if he just never stopped smiling? So like, I guess my inspiration for this is like, that episode of The Simpsons where like Lenny gets a facelift and I guess they get laid off and like everyone's super bummed out, but Lenny just keeps on smiling because he got a facelift. Like, what if he just had Apollo Crews just be super positive through everything he encountered? Like, even when shit is going bad for him, he's smiling. And like, I even think this should carry out to like when he's in the ring and like he's getting stretched out, he should just keep on smiling. And I think that would just be super aggravating for both the wrestler and the crowd. Like, he has to be a heel, I think, just because I think no one likes someone that's like completely happy all the time. Yeah. So I really think he should just never stop smiling. That should be his gimmick. Like, oh, go ahead.
There was that MMA dude who always smiled, Alex Caceres.
I don't know that guy.
Bruce Leroy. He was on Tough, and then like they thought he was going to be kind of a thing, but he never really panned out.
I got you.
I'm pretty sure it was him. He'd always be smiling, and like people, like it pissed people off.
Yeah, exactly. That should be him. Like, he should just never like waver in like the face of like, I don't know, just being challenged or anything. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about that segment where like Zack Ryder was like just being a cornball for Eve Torres. And then like he like catches her kissing John Cena and it cuts to him frowning with like a bouquet of flowers. Like, they should just like redo this segment with Apollo Crews just smiling while being like totally herbed out. That'd be hilarious to me.
Not to get too off topic, but like, I think there's a lot of things in WWE where you don't appreciate them until they're gone.
Yeah.
I think number one is obviously, I mean, I appreciated it, but not to the point I should have, because like once it was gone, but John Laurinaitis as the commissioner was fucking amazing. But another one that's high up there is the John Cena, Eve, Zack Ryder love triangle. That was just like, oh my God, man. I think that is like some all-time bang count at WWE television.
Like, I don't think of Zack Ryder at all as like a great wrestler, but the face that he made when they cut to him, when he caught those two kissing, like, it makes me like roll on the floor every single time. He's so good at fucking acting.
Yeah.
He's like the Koji Kanemoto of like the WWE. His facials are just on point.
Okay, so what's the next one?
Okay, so the next one will go with TM61. Right now their gimmick is just like two white dudes that are really good at wrestling, and that's it. That's not a gimmick to me at all. It's kind of like these new rappers like G-Eazy or Logic. Like, I guess they're performing rap music, but I don't know anything else about them except that they can, I guess, perform rap music.
Yeah, I just thought that was because I'm old, but you're younger than me, and if you think that, then I'm still not completely washed yet.
Nah, you're on trend. So, I mean, like, for one, like, so their whole thing is like TM plus 61, and I was like, oh, that's an area code thing. And like, using an area code is like the most base level way to start your internet like persona. Like, it's a little higher than like using your favorite color or like what sport you play when like making a screen name. So I was like, what if their gimmick was just like doing everything in like a super generic manner. And so like I just typed in ideas for youth soccer team names, and the number one result I got is the Spitting Cobras. So they should just be the Spitting Cobras. So yeah, they should just go with that. They should be the Spitting Cobras, and they should also just cut promos about them being fired up and overcoming the odds. Like that should just be their entire thing.
This is insane because this is exactly my idea. It was a little more fleshed out, but it's the exact same idea. Where I saw like a little of these guys. I think I've seen like one All Japan match, and I think they were in New Japan at one point. At least for like one of those 4-way tags. But and even then, I was like, yeah, those guys are just those white guys that are always in Japan, and you never see them in America because they don't have the tools to be in America. And they're just like. It's very big proof that WWE does not really need to sign everyone, because like these guys are great. They're great wrestlers. But I couldn't even tell you, like, if there was one of those sketch artists, like a crime sketch artist here right now, I would not even be able to like fucking give you any kind of what their eyes look like, anything. And I've seen them wrestle multiple times.
Yeah, what are their names? I don't know what their names are. I just call them the guys from Noah. That's all I know them as.
One is T and one is M. And like, that's the thing. It wasn't even like, their names are like fucking like, like Nick Johnson and like Matt Miller. And they couldn't even like give them like, like Flex Johnson or something. Like they couldn't even like spice up their names. Like it's just so fucking weird. It's like they want them to be super boring. So yeah, like that's my idea too, is just make them super boring, but doing it in like a subtle, like The Office type way where they never like, it's not like Steve Blackman, where they're just like, oh, look at this guy, he's super boring, and that was like his gimmick. Right. They should just do it like you said, where they're just like, yeah, man, we're just fucking fired up. We're gonna go out there, like, we're gonna win this one for our families, and just do like when they do those like backstage vignettes where they're showing people, and you're supposed to pretend like the camera isn't there. But it's like anytime they do it for them, it's just like them going over like their strategy for the match, and then it just like like fades out, and like there's no comment made about how lame that just was. Yeah. And yeah, just do that for like a year, and people would get behind. If they get behind that fucking 10 Ty Dillinger shit.
No, that shit is hot, dude. That is way different than TM61, dude. Like, you can't compare the two.
But yeah, I honestly think they hired them because their name before was TMDK, which stood for The Mighty Don't Kneel, which is kind of dumb, but compared to TM61, it's amazing. Right. And they have another tag team now called the Authors of Pain. So The Mighty Don't Kneel doesn't sound that stupid anymore. But yeah. But yeah, even that gave them a little more flash than TM61, Nick and Matt Johnson and Dick Miller, or whatever their fucking names are. But yeah, they should just be boring. That should be their gimmick.
I mean, like in California, like you can kind of judge people by their area codes. Like, I don't know shit about plus 61. That's like New Zealand or some shit. Like, if you were to say to me 415 or 510, I'd be like, she's kind of hood. Or if you say, hey, 619, I was like, hey, Rey Mysterio, but she probably has money. Like, you can kind of do these things. They're kind of like astrological codes or whatever, like in California. But TM61, I don't know anything about that shit based on name alone.
Okay, do we have one more or two more left?
We got two more left.
Okay, so there's Austin and sorry, I'm trying to remember the fifth one.
I got you. You want me to take over?
Oh, okay. It's Austin Aries. What's the other one?
I'll do it after you say Austin Aries.
We'll do Austin Aries. I just think this is my best one. So,
oh shit, that's good.
But I don't know if everybody else will think it's the best one. But I think Austin Aries' gimmick is he's an indie wrestler from the mid 2000s, and that's a real weird gimmick for somebody to have. And they I don't know why they're letting him do it. It's like I don't know. It's fucking Triple H. He's a real smart guy. This dude's like fucking 5'2", like trying to act like a badass, and it's just like I remember the last guy now, but yeah, it's just like it's ridiculous. And
hey, before I cut you off, like, what did you think of that Nakamura match?
It was good. Like, I think Austin Aries is a very technically sound wrestler. I think he's really good at wrestling, but he's not it's not my style at all. He is very implanted into the mid 2000s ROH style of wrestling, and that's cool when you're fighting like Samoa Joe or somebody, but like, you know, like when you're just fighting another dude that's not really down with that style, it's kind of just like not my thing.
Yeah, it was a little off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's his current gimmick. And do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you for sure. It's just this guy that is just like relishing on 2006.
Yeah, and then he has like on top of that, he has like the TNA stank on him, which makes it even worse because it's like added like more bad ideas. He was like one of the only decent parts of TNA when he was there though, which isn't saying much. But anyway, so I think his gimmick should be the same exact thing he does right now, except with a little costume tweak, and I think it would just tie everything together.
Okay.
So this is two parts.
I'm listening.
First, it should be a monkey themed costume, but not like a complete monkey themed costume. It should be like just like his panties, his wrestler panties, and like his boots, and maybe like wrist bracelets, and but definitely with a tail sticking out of his butt. And,
I was thinking like you would have him come out like the fucking Phoenix Suns like mascot. That would be sick as fuck.
No, it's gonna get there though. But
okay.
It's like but it's not like it's like kind of like almost like a fake plush monkey. It's kind of fur, like a Curious George type, like that specific brown, and kind of just like so not too furry.
Yep.
And like just that the wrists, the boots, and the panties and the tail, and like never acknowledge it. Just like, you know, just completely, no one says like, oh, the flying monkey, Austin Aries, just like that's his costume, and they still treat him like he's Austin Aries otherwise. And but then like when he has like a big pay-per-view match against Shinsuke Nakamura, that's when like the quote unquote demon comes out, and that is when it's like full Curious George outfit, not covering his face, just still wearing like tiny monkey ears, but so you can still see his full face. Because he has that pissy, shitty dick face. And just like that dude, but everything else, like neck to bottom, and like the Curious George monkey outfit. And yeah, I think that would really help him because he kind of has like monkey-like moves. And he has like this pissy dick face, like he just smelled a fart all the time. And like this well-coiffed hair, but it's not really, like it's just like really super short and dyed. But like, I think he, like, if just like, next time you're watching NXT and Austin Aries pops up, just imagine him in the Curious George costume, and you'll be like, oh man, I love this guy. Like, he's fucking amazing. And I think it would really help him out.
Yeah, I mean, his haircut is definitely from like the early 2000s where like white dudes would like kind of just gel down their bangs. Like, cause that was their response to like black dudes getting like lined up.
Yeah.
Which I never understood. I'm kind of glad you had this amazing idea because here's what I wrote down. I'll read it like verbatim. I legit have nothing. He is so bland and annoying looking. This man gave his girl a promise ring, and he is the face of all the political hot takes you see from old coworkers on Facebook. That's all I had. Like, I could not think of one gimmick for him because right now he's like, you know, he's acting out like the best possible like scenario for himself. Like, he's just a guy that's just annoying, and that's like his only wave, I feel like.
Yes. And he went off on the like announcer lady in TNA and I think struck her like a fucking...
So like it was a Christy Hemme and like she was like in the corner of like the six sides and he went on the top of the ropes and just like put his dick on her face and it was like kind of gross, very problematic.
Yeah, real cool guy.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. All right, our last wrestler for this segment is Neville. His current gimmick is just English guy that can do really cool moves, and that's about it. Like, what do you think about him right now?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He wears a cape. He's also happy to be there, just much like Apollo Crews. He's just not as visibly happy, and yeah, he is not good at talking or interacting with other human beings.
Here's where Vince McMahon to me is a genius. Like, they were thinking about doing like a whole Mighty Mouse thing. And they should have done that. Like, if he came
exactly
out,
what I was gonna say. Too.
If he came out with like these like insane inflated muscle like costumes, he would be the best. But he's not, and that's kind of a bummer. Okay, so you and I in past episodes have talked about how Men's Teo was out there cosplaying American wrestlers, and I think this is the guy to do the reverse. I think it's time for a white dude to cosplay as a Japanese wrestler. I mean, Neville is the guy, like, with the moveset to do it already. And he kind of, like, already looks like a secretary for the Japanese Culture Club. he should be the guy. And go ahead.
I think the world's ready for it because I watched some of the Money in the Bank pre-show, and Mauro Ranallo name dropped Masao and Kobashi during a Tyler Breeze and Fandango match. So
yeah, we're ready for this whole entire gimmick, and I think it should be Adrian Neville. He's gonna go by, in my entire plan, Neville Adrian, because in Japan they go by last name first name,
all caps,
all capital letters, and I think it'd be like a good little, I don't know, segment or whatever if the announcer just calls him regularly Adrian Neville and he gets upset that they called him Adrian Neville and he just insists that they call him Neville Adrian because family is important. Also, I think one of the dream segments that I would have if he pulled off this gimmick is he could be backstage with Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura and he would just be critiquing their chopstick technique.
That's a pretty good gimmick. Yeah, I think he's, I was watching NXT when he was a champion for a year, and I was like, this is it for him. This is great. It's great what they're doing with him, but this is the end of the road. He needs to go to WWE, but it's going to fail. And I wouldn't say it's failing, but it's pretty close to failing. But he's another hard person to really think of a gimmick for because he's just you can tell, his speaking now is after years of trying really hard, and this is the best he's gonna get, and that's kind of bad.
Yep.
So outside of sticking him with a manager, nothing's gonna really work. So I had to think really hard about this one, and this is probably my weirdest idea, and my most abstract. But I think Neville should just reveal that Neville should reveal that he is really from 45 years in the future, and and the only proof he has that he's from 45 years in the future is that he has a photo that he carries around that's him and 4 other people, and they all kind of look like Neville, and he explains that in the future everybody is like him, and he's actually just kind of average for the people in the future. So the crazy moves he does isn't even shit compared to what's going to go on in 45 years. And they they never reveal whether or not he's really from the future. So all of the other wrestlers speculate man, is he I've seen that photo before. It looks real. I mean, there's no other way to tell. Is he really from the future? And some people are he's definitely from the future. I know, I could just believe it. And I know that would make him really interesting, I think. So WWE, just feel free to take that one. I know there got to be somebody out there with some power listening. Just take that idea, give it to Neville, and just send me, send me some gifts, send me some merch.
Anyone in the New York office that's listening right now, honestly, how do you not hire us after this entire segment? Come on, New York, just fucking hire us right now. We got ideas, man.
Yeah.
Up next, VRTL mixtape with Okada, AR Fox, Kitsune, Masada, Kamui, all kinds of kind of weird, crazy wrestlers. Please stay tuned. We're back. Episode 19 of the VRTL Pros podcast, aka Vert Gang. And to end this entire episode, of course, is the VRTL Pros mixtape segment. We got kind of a mishmash of matches, and I guess I'll start right now with AR Fox Kitsune. Shout out to John is back for the suggestion. I think you, Mike, asked our listeners to send us matches to review for this segment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And yeah, you know, it's June. It's junior season, so I feel like this match is pretty topical. This match is from Interspecies Wrestling. I personally don't know a whole lot of Japanese, but I'm pretty good with animal names for whatever reason. I know that Kuma is a bear, and I know that Kitsune is a fox because a girl I used to like, her name was Kitsune, and that was her screen name on Asian Avenue. And someone right now is listening right now, and they're fucking dying because that's his wife. One of my notes is this match looks like it takes place in a garage, and I think that's like one of the best places you can wrestle. The announcer game in this match is kind of distracting. Like, it's okay to be juvenile, but I mean, like, I think they make some kind of weird remark about how I think AR Fox hit a move and they were like, I would not be surprised if every person in here had jizz in their pants. And I was like, you're a loser. No, don't say that. Yeah, I think he also says like, Tony Jaa suck his dick after Kitsune hits a standing moonsault with both knees landing. You know, this just totally annoyed me. I've seen AR Fox live and that guy is like super impressive to watch live. And I think watching this kind of wrestling, where I guess you can say for the smart folks is a spot fest, it's better watching live than it is watching on YouTube. It's not a very long match, but if you have about 10 or 12 minutes to kill, like, check it out. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I kind of have all of the same feelings. I hate ironic commentary. I hate it. Like, not just these dudes. These dudes are really annoying, but like any PWG does it. I watched like one AIW show. They kind of do it. AIW is pretty good at it though, because one of their guys just sounds super drunk, and not like drunk in like the cool I'm drunk sort of way, but like when your grandpa gets drunk, and so that's cool. But yeah, I don't like the ironic commentary as much as like obviously I like absurd shit for all this stuff that we just talked about. But when you're just like completely pretending wrestling isn't real and you're on commentary, it's kind of lame.
Yeah, like when you're trying to flex about how nerdy you are about pro wrestling on commentary, like, I'm not impressed, my dude. Like, stop. Just call the match.
There's another part where like AR Fox does like, I think it might be, he does like the space flying tiger drop or something similar, and they're like, I wonder how much cocaine he did before the match, and it's just like, ugh, you're not Stranglemania, you're not Violent J or Shaggy 2 Dope. I don't want to hear that out of you. You're not the Masters.
Yeah, they had this line where, like, they said, like, one of the guys was like, yeah, he's really slick. And the other guy was like, did you say he was slick because slick is black?
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, man, stop.
Yeah, outside of that, AR Fox is just like, I'm man enough to say I used to mix him up with Ricochet all the time.
Oh, man, that's problematic.
They're the same skin tone, and they do the same kind of flippy shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Mike.
I don't even know TMDK's name. Like, it's not because anything else. They do the same shit. They do the same moveset. Outside of that, yeah, this match is, like Al said, I would have loved to see this live, but watching it on YouTube, it's just like, okay, I get it. He's gonna do a crazy move, and then the other guy's gonna do a crazy move.
Yeah.
And at least it was, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. And I will say at least it was kind of short, because I feel like PWG is just filled with these matches and they're like 30 minutes long each. And that is when it's like disgusting to me. So at least this is like 12 minutes or something. So it's not like that huge of a deal. Definitely wasn't my favorite match of the night. That's for sure.
I mean, like, I actually am more interested in like this whole interspecies wrestling. Like, do this have animal versus animal, like, for every one of these matches? I gotta check into this.
Yeah, I can't remember what the deal was with it, because I used to get it mixed up with Incredibly Strange Wrestling, which was this wrestling out of I think San Francisco. I can't remember. It was like years ago, and they did like wacky wrestling, and like the crowd would throw tortillas into the ring and stuff like that. And they had like super crazy extreme gimmicks, so I always got those two mixed up. Anyways, my first match of the night is because we did the main segment, and believe it or not, when we think of these main segments, I do every once in a while try and tie in the mixtape matches with it, but usually what happens is while I'm looking for something to tie it in with, I'll find something else and I'll do that instead. So it never actually happens. So this time I was like, I wanted to find a match with a person with a shitty gimmick that got a gimmick makeover, and and flourished. And the only person I could really think of is Okada, unfortunately. I originally thought John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, who just won the title, but there's slim pickings for John Moxley matches on the internet that I like, at least. But so I went with Okada and Kiyoshi versus Inc. Incorporated.
Fuck's sakes.
From TNA Explosion. This happened on October 8th, 2010, which is my birthday, so that's cool.
Hey.
Kiyoshi is some guy from All Japan that I assume is some kind of lowly guy from All Japan. Okada is Okada from the Rainmaker, Okada from New Japan. This was, I don't know if this was before or after he played the problematic character Okado, and he was like Kato to Samoa Joe's Green Hornet. I could not find any of those matches, unfortunately, but I just like skits with them. So they're a tag team, and Inc. is Inc. Incorporated is a tag team, and this is on TNA Explosion, which is apparently some kind of other TNA show besides their main one.
Yeah.
That I assume is like some Saturday morning type shit. And like in the fantastical world where people want to watch that much TNA and they have a Saturday morning show. So I assume this is internet only. Like, I don't know what the fuck the show is, but it's a tag match. Taz and some other dickhead are on commentary. So Inc. Incorporated are Shannon Moore, who is I think he did it. He was in WWE for a minute. He was always the Hardys' friends in Omega, their independent league back in the day, and he always looked like a 10-year-old boy, and it was real weird watching him wrestle because he looks 10 years old. He's jacked. He's like a 4'9" jacked 10-year-old boy, and it's always super creepy to watch him wrestling. And here he's like all kind of like his idea of like what an extreme punker would look like, I guess. But he just looks like a fucking jackass. Like he looks like a Shadowrun character or something. He has like this crazy mohawk and like this Asuka face paint. And he just looks all this stupid gear. He looks like a fucking jackass. And the other guy is some dude named Jesse Neal. No idea.
Yeah.
He looks like a natural jackass. Like he can't wash it off like Shannon Moore can. This guy just like, there's no hope. This is what he looks like.
Yo, just to interrupt, like, is it a TNA gimmick to just have every war veteran come in and, like, kind of fulfill the wrestling dream? Because I feel like 9 people have had this gimmick.
Oh, is that what that guy is? He's a war
Yeah,
veteran?
he used to be, like, in the military or some shit. And, like, they hire, like, 9 of these guys on the daily, I feel like.
Dude, TNA is just like, we need to do some kind of special episode about TNA because I have so many feelings about TNA and I don't even really watch it. It's just like, anytime I turn it on, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? They have so many wrestlers. They have like 1,700 wrestlers and they're on every single show. And it's fucking so weird to me.
I just feel like everyone like there is like a veteran and like I feel weird watching that shit sometimes. I don't know.
But then when it's not veterans, though, it's just like...
Or Kurt Angle.
It's some indie guy you've never heard of, and you're like, where's this guy even from? Like, where do they fucking find this guy? And it's, I don't know, like, such a weird fucking promotion.
Yep.
So, yeah, my first impression of Inc. Incorporated was, and I wrote it down, look at these bozos. And it's just like, do you really want that in your promotion? Like, is there no, like, fucking quality assurance going on in the back where they're just like, you can't look like this, man. It's 2010. You guys look like bozos. You look like fucking idiots. Like, go wash up. Find something else to wear. What are you going to do? Right in the middle, bell rings. Shannon Moore starts off with a racist crane kick taunt, which is a great way to start off a match. I do, as much as I let on, the racism in wrestling is kind of bad, but at the same time, I do like a tad of racism in my wrestling.
Oh my goodness, Mike. I'm going to edit this out, Mike. You can't say that.
I don't mean like bad racism. I mean like when like
just a little bit.
Well, you know, like wrestlers, I mean, it doesn't happen anymore, obviously, and it's kind of like real awkward when it does, but wrestling, that's what it did was build on people's stereotypes.
Sure.
And so like I understand it's like rooted in that. So this match really makes me wonder, do you think it's kind of like that in Japan though? Like when a white person wrestles and they're just like, I don't know, I can't fucking tell them apart. Do you think it's like that there?
They show the utmost respect for everyone there. Japan is a perfect country.
But I mean, that's how all white people came into Japanese wrestling, as being like an evil, fucking round-eye monster. Yeah, it is.
I'll give you this. Like, I feel like if anyone that's white goes into Japan, like, they're either billed as a Haas or just, like, kind of a dreamboat. Like, I bet, like, Matt Sydal, like, is very sexy to Japan. Whereas, like...
What about Stan Hansen? And he would go in the crowd and terrorize them.
Well, can you think of a white Haas nowadays? Like, they're kind of slim pickings, right?
Anderson and Gallows did it, but I mean, now it doesn't count because it's modern times.
Oh,
and that's the problem with racism in wrestling, is it's not back then anymore. It's
not back in my day.
When I said I like my racism in my wrestling, I meant that, like, I could watch a match from back then and be like, okay, I get it. Like, I can appreciate Kamala. Kamala now, that's like not a gimmick you can do, but you could still talk about Kamala matches. It's not like a bad thing to talk about them. So that was way off. I got way off track. I don't know, man. This match, I had some feelings about this match just because it's TNA. It's so fucking weird.
Talk about it.
Taz at one point says that Okada falls off the turnbuckle, and Taz says he might have been drinking too much sake. This is in 2010, by the way. It's not in 1987. You cannot, if Apollo Crews was in the ring, you can't be like, oh, he must be drinking too much malt liquor. Like, you can't do that. You would have a lawsuit on your hands. And it's like, Taz sounds like such a fucking mongoloid meatball on commentary on this. Like, this match made me hate that dude so much. Like, he sounds like such a fucking jackass. There's a point where he just, like, starts making nonsense up about Ultimo Dragon's mask, and, like, it's just, like, so fucking stupid. The other guy, whoever that jackass is, just calls one of them Jushin Liger. Yeah. Like, this is just like, this match is for a 10-minute throwaway match on some web show that TNA produces. Like, it's just so ridiculous. Like, this match is just a microcosm of everything that's wrong with TNA. At the end, Shannon Moore gets the pin on Kiyoshi, and I was really bummed out because I was really hoping Jesse Neal pinned Okada, because I knew the white team was going to win. I'm not that stupid. So I was just hoping Jesse Neal would get the pin on Okada, because Okada right now is the obviously the New Japan. Sorry, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but he is the IWGP champion right now. Mm-hmm. And he's probably, the biggest wrestler in Japan right now. And I assume Jesse Neal probably works at a Jiffy Lube. And if he had pinned Okada, you would never been able to take that away from him. But it didn't get to happen, unfortunately.
I was going to say, like, if you had to pick one out of these four people, who do you think would have been headlining the Tokyo Dome in 3 years? Like, kind of a tough pick, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like, Okada, like, he doesn't look like the dude he looks like now.
Yeah.
He looks a younger, like, not as well filled out version of himself. He's still on that drop kick, though. I don't know. I watched, like, a couple of his TNA Net matches, so can't remember if it was this one or that one, but he's still, like, really good at a drop kick back then. But so I'm sure, people make jokes where they're just like, yeah, TNA had Okada and they just blew it. And it's just like, yeah, I don't think he would have been what he was in TNA.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter how, he could have stayed there for 100 years and they could have wrote the best things for him. But yeah, so this is a very interesting match outside of it just kind of being average.
Yeah, so some of my notes were that, Okada swagger jacked Goto's entire swag, and that's why he came off bland as fuck, because Goto's the worst. And that's why, like, Okada never got to be a thing in TNA, because he had those weird little things hanging off his tights, which are kind of garbage. One of my other notes is that anyone that thinks that having tattoos is a gimmick, I'm looking at you, Kid Ink, is the most basic kind of person I can ever imagine. Ink. Like, they had someone hold a sign in the crowd, and I was like, that's not legit. This is kind of like the Jay White thing that we were talking about. Like, no one came to Orlando, like, thinking that Kid Ink that Ink was tight. And, like, I saw this sign, and I was like, that's a plant. That's horseshit. Okada makes me want to dye my hair blonde now, because when any Asian person doesn't, they reach new levels. Like, if you look at Juntao in Rush Hour and Jito in 2000, like, they both got super hot because they dyed their hair blonde. Kiyoshi is now wrestling as Sushi, which is very tragic, I feel like, nowadays. And, you kind of stole my entire thunder about how the other announcer that's not Taz calls Okada Liger, which is a wild racist. And it kind of makes me want to write, like, a formal letter to Dixie Carter about sensitivity.
Kiyoshi isn't even masked. He's not even wearing a mask.
Yeah. He's going by Sushi now, which if you like All Japan nowadays, you can check him out. The last match that I picked was Manami Toyota versus Aja Kong, 11/20/94. 94 is an insane year for wrestling. I picked this match because we were talking about ghoul shit last episode about Joshi, and I was like, what's kind of like the most ghoulish thing I've ever seen with Joshi? And to me, like, this is not too ghoulish, but for the bumps that they take, like, it's kind of hard to watch. But I mean, on pace and like intensity alone, like this match to me is top 10 in my lists if you want to get into my psyche about how I watch pro wrestling. And I really think, like, I can confidently say, like, if I show this match to you, like, you will probably agree. Like, this match is the opening match, at the Tokyo Dome, mind you, in the V-Top Women Tournament. Like, for them to book this match as an opening match was kind of crazy booking, but it happened. If you've never seen a Manami Toyota match, like, her pacing is insane. I wrote down that, like, 1 minute in, she's already doing, like, fucking sunset flip power bombs off the top rope. Like, in the past, I've seen her just do tombstones, like, 30 seconds in. And, like, you've never seen this kind of pacing ever. And I think Manami Toyota should be fucking credited for this kind of, like, obscene pacing in matches. Like, her matches are, like, ridiculous to watch. One of my favorite parts of this match is you can kind of see Aja Kong, like, sort of take exception to, like, one of Toyota's kicks. So she just stands up and she, like, takes these kicks from Toyota, and then she just says, fuck this, throws her on the ground and just boots her 10 out of 10 in the face as hard as she possibly could. And it is fucked up. You might need to watch this match alone because Toyota's screaming. It might sound a little suspect if you have roommates. And, yeah, this pace is, like, relentless. Everything is expertly done. Dave Meltzer, the god, he gave this 5 out of 5. I give this 10 stars on the neck folding scale. And honestly, like, this is a match, if you watch pro wrestling and you, like, say that you enjoy it, you need to watch.
Okay, this is too trash. No, just kidding.
Fuck, dude, I was gonna hang up.
No, this isn't trash. This is a great match. I don't know how he neglected to not mention the highlight of the match, which is Aja Kong's entrance theme, which is sort of a rap. It's like sort of like that 90s music between rap and just like garbage music. And, just like club shit, I guess, but horrible club shit.
Yep.
One of the lyrics, and this is a slight paraphrase, I might got one or two words off, but it's, God made the devil just for fun. When he wanted the real thing, he made Aja Kong. That is,
fire.
That is the chorus to this song, and it's pretty ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah, Aja Kong is still wrestling to this day. She still looks exactly the same. Good for her. I guess these lady wrestlers, the smaller ones, they can only last for like 3 years.
Sure.
Not 3 years, but Aja Kong, 20 years going strong.
Yeah, man, like, it kind of bummed me out when Kairi Hojo was like, I don't know if I'm going to wrestle in 3 years. And yeah. I'd be surprised, too, because she takes some ridiculous bumps.
Yeah. Aja Kong still looks real ashy, even back then. I don't know what her
come
deal is.
on.
She looks like, I don't know, she just looks ashy all the time. Yeah, one of my other notes is Manami is she's a great screamer. I would say she's maybe the best screamer in wrestling. Holy shit, she can scream. Oh boy. I guess I didn't take a lot of notes. In the beginning of the match, it's a lot of Aja Kong just, I would say, dominating Manami Toyota and stretching her out in various kind of like sadomasochistic ways, you would say.
Oh my god, Mike.
And my exact notes were, this match is someone's fetish. Is it Al's fetish? God only knows.
No, I've never came to someone doing a Boston Crab on someone else.
She's doing like all these like crazy surfboards and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, I know what they're doing. This is, it's not my thing, but if it was my thing, this would be the match to go to. Yeah, outside of that, I don't like it's like I said in the beginning, like Aja Kong is just fucking her the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like, they switch sides and then there's more fucking up going on. There's like some crazy top rope moves in this that are, scary to watch. Just like, I guess like a reverse Frankensteiner that Manami Toyota does to Aja Kong. That's, I guess that's what it was. It's some weird shit.
Yeah.
And, there's another one where she tries like I guess she was trying a front. No, I don't even know what the fuck she's trying something from the top rope, and Aja Kong she falls, and Aja Kong just fucking sits right on top of her, and it's just like, there's a lot of like Definitely for me. I mean, I'm not as well schooled as these old school lady matches, but as far as like dangerous top rope shit goes, this match is number one for that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's it. So our last match was recommended by listener Dave. I put out the call for matches, and this dude replied first. And it interests me. It's Masada versus, how did you pronounce his name?
KAMUI.
Do you think that's how it's pronounced? Did you look this up or something?
Well, I'm gonna get into my weeaboo status. Like, if the U is silent, it's KAMUI for sure, dude.
Okay, so it's KAMUI versus Masada, who maybe you would think he was Japanese. He's just a white guy. He's probably a white guy from rural Pennsylvania or something. Like, he's from some scumbag place.
Might I add, he liked one of your videos. So, like I said, VRTL Pros, the brand, is so strong out here right now.
That is true. This is from a promotion called Freedoms, and I picked this match because the listener picked it, and also just because I have some things to say, and I like that this mixtape. I really want this mixtape to flourish, where, like a year from now, I can go back and just watch all the matches because I'll have forgotten them by then, and it'll just be like a fun thing. And I don't want to watch all the same types of shit all the time, so it's good to have these weird things. And this Freedoms. All caps, by the way. I don't know if it's an acronym, but it's all caps. This is a Japanese independent promotion. And this is like the type of thing I would have gotten into when I was like tape trading. And I was always looking for like the new rush, like the new weirdest thing from Japan. And I would get like fucking Osaka Pro and what was Onita Pro and like the thing that Ken the Box and Survival to Beta are from. And I would always just get this weird stuff. And I feel like Freedoms and Guts World and all those other things are just like, they're on that level to like in this modern day. And I am way too old and like lazy to get into this shit anymore. So when I do have the chance to watch it, I'll try to, like if somebody points it out. So I was like, fuck it, I'll watch this. I think I've only seen one other Freedoms match before this. And that match also had a car involved in it. So I guess that's kind of their gimmick. But so yeah, Masada's this white guy. Kamui is, I fucking don't know. Both of these guys look like they have come from like the Mr. Pogo school of deathmatch wrestling, where they're just like wearing dumb clothes, like doing punches, and it's just like, it's that kind of, it is not the new modern, even modern American like weird death matches. It is like straight up early 90s FMW deathmatch shit.
Like Masada has like Dockers like shorts on or some shit with like BJW like screen printed on him or something. I don't even know. They're crazy. Yeah,
he just looks like he stepped right out of FMW from that part, or even IWA at that point. The ring canvas is disgusting. It is Freedoms. I know you're not making that much money, even though that garage that you taped in looked like it was pretty filled, but maybe you give up a lot of comp tickets or something, but maybe spend, I don't know how much, I have no idea how much ring canvas costs. Does $100 sound good? That sounds like a proper price for a ring canvas. Spend that $100. Maybe not buy so many fucking light tubes or cinder blocks or wreck a fucking car and get a new ring canvas. Yep. I don't know. That shit looks gross. It looked like it was pixelated with dirt. Like, it was just like, I don't know what the fuck was going on with that thing.
This mat looked like it came out of Minecraft or some shit. It was so fucked up.
It's just so gross. And so I think like if I ever go to Japan, I have to find out how to get to like this type of wrestling. This is what I need to see. I don't need to see fucking New Japan. I saw enough of those guys in ROH like a month ago. I need to see this shit, like this fucking weird ass shit where I don't know the language. I don't know any of the guys. So I just like go into it just like, what the fuck is going on? I think that would be an experience. The cameraman, there's a cameraman. He's wearing a shirt that says "No death match, no life."
Yeah,
I'd love to get my hands on that shirt.
That shirt is hot. Oh, you're in front. I saw that too.
Yeah. So yeah, basically this match is just like them punching each other. Regular typical deathmatch shit. They lead each other outside, and I hate when people wrestle outside because it looks so fake. And like, somehow, some way, the side garage hatch of the fucking storage space they're wrestling in, or where the fuck it is, opens, and Kamui drives a car into into the building, into the goddamn building. He drives a car into it. The other match I saw, which it was either Freedoms or Guts World. I guess cars are the hot shit now in wrestling, where you just drive a fucking car in. But the other one I saw where they drove a car in, he just fucking hits the shit out of the dude, and that's the end. Like he just hits him. He hits him kind of hard, and that's the end. But this is like the dude like drive. The dude, yeah, I was in a Death Valley driver video review, so I have to like look him up. But yeah, like he like Kamui just straight up drives the car and like he hits him, but it looks super fake and not like it hurt at all. And I was like, that was fucking lame, man. Why did he give it like make us watch this lame match? I know there's better car matches out there, and then like. But no, he just parks the fucking car. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You can't just park a car there. Like, how are you going to get that out? And I still don't know how they got it out. But anyway, like, so they start just doing like all of this car-based wrestling for like 8 minutes. And it's just super fucking weird because it's like, why would you fucking do this? This match is so bizarre. Like, I get it's like a new gimmick where you're just like, oh, there's a fucking car. Like, I've never seen that before. But it gets old super quick. Like, I will say at the end, Masada is hitting some dangerously hard moves on Kamui onto the roof of this car. Just like real ass looking pile drivers, real ass Death Valley drivers, just stuff like that. I'm just like, man, this sucks. Like, it would suck to have to take all this stuff on top of a car. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how to describe it. You need to see this. Like, it's real interesting. I would like. If I had like the ability to go back in time, I might go to this match just to see this in real life because it would be fucking weird. And yeah, I don't know. Like, it's something, man. It is maybe the most interesting car-based match out there that I've seen so far. But I'm gonna hunt for more.
I think this is the garage that Stardom wrestles in on a weekly basis. Like the garage that like a lot of old dudes breathe really heavily when they watch like girls wrestle. I think it's
there's just like there's a lot of sleaze happening in this building though.
Yeah, Shinkiba First Station, I think is what it's called. I'm pretty sure that's the fucking same place. But you know what? Surprisingly, I am the total opposite of how you reacted to this match. To me, like this match is like a brawl that is just going like nowheresville until Kamui decides to drive a car into the ring or into the arena, and I was like, holy shit, it's about to get super lit right now. Yeah, so the car is introduced. And like I was watching this match like, with full attention, like with like both of my hands on my desk, like what the fuck is going on? And like Masada, like a guy that's like known for like putting like barbecue skewers into people's heads. Like he is fucking Kamui up. Like he's doing like Death Valley drivers and like Kamui's doing like sentons like from the top rope, like on the outside, like onto this car hood.
But
and like that shit is insane to me.
It's insane. Like the moves they're doing are insane. But listen, they are on top of the roof of a car for like 5 minutes. Like, why wouldn't you just fucking get the fuck off?
No, dude. Like they're just taking turns, like doing like the worst moves to each other on like a fucking like a Kia Sonata, whatever this car is. And I was intrigued. Like this was like one of the most interesting matches I've seen all year long.
Also, that was a real car. That wasn't like the car in the Doink the Clown.
No.
Because that had dealer plates on it. This had like real ass license plate on it. And so that was probably Kamui's car or Masada's car. No, not Masada. He doesn't live there, but
I was cracking up because I was like, man, if Masada had to drive this car, would he feel weird driving on the right side? And I was just like, of course Kamui's gonna drive because it's probably his car, like you were saying. But yeah, man, like I don't understand how you can't give this match any credit. Like, they're doing insane things on the roof of this car for legit 8 minutes, and, like, I could not, like, take my eyes off of this match.
No, I'm giving it all the credit in the world. I'm just saying it's, like, listen, Vader would have a lot of problems with this match, is all I'm saying. It's just, like, it is so ridiculous that they're just like, oh, well, okay, I'm going to lay on the car now, and you're going to do a senton on me.
Yeah.
And you're going to lay on the car, and it's just like, damn, man, like, the car is a tiny spot. Like it's like when people find it's like a scaffold. It's like the new scaffold match, basically, where you're just like when you're little and you see a scaffold match, you're like, that's cool as fuck. They're all the way up there. But then when you're like older, you're just like, man, they just gotta like sit up there and punch each other. So this is just like the scaffold match, the next level, where it's dudes doing super dangerous moves in like a 5 square foot spot.
I legit am praying that at Battleground, the next WWE pay-per-view, like this feud ending match between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose is like a car match. Like they should just do every single move that they can possibly think of on top of a car. My last note is that I've personally busted a windshield once while recording a student film, and it makes you feel really powerful when you do it. That was my last note.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Masada couldn't bust the windshield, and it was like I couldn't decide if they were hoping it wouldn't bust or that it would bust.
No, like, dude, when there's a spot where Masada he throws 2 cinder blocks at that windshield, I'm like, dude, that's kind of risky, man. It was,
exactly.
It had me on edge. This match is amazing. This might be better than 6-3-94.
I'm surprised man, you're turning into a ghoul, Al.
Dude, 5 out of 5. No, a 9 out of 9 on my Excel spreadsheet. This match is a must watch. Like, it is amazing. Like, if Freedoms is like, if this is like indicative of like the quality, like I am like Freedoms like new, like biggest fan. Like, this was a great match. You should watch this.
I mean, I agree. You should watch this too. I have to see what the rest of Freedoms is like. I have to see if that other car-based match was Freedoms, because then yeah, I mean, maybe this is just like a thing. Then they're gonna have to just get bigger and bigger cars.
Episode 19 of the VRTL Pros podcast. If you haven't already, please peep us on iTunes. Search for us at Virtual Pros. Same as our SoundCloud. Please hit that heart. You know I appreciate it. If you haven't already, follow us on Twitter at VRTL Pros. Same as our Instagram. We broke 1,000 because we are the craziest brand on Instagram. I fucking guarantee it. And if you want to email us, please do so at virtualpros64@gmail.com. Mike, surprise me. Do you have any last words?
Hey, thanks for listening. And I really don't like racism.
Hey, there you go. Episode 19. Peace.